is bestowed upon a chosen few.
Last year, I watched all 3 seasons, or what they call books, of Nickelodeon's Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I'm a huge fan of the series. Unlike many cartoons today, the episodes were character-oriented, they were epic in scale, and they were both funny and tragic. And it didn't have any filler at all in its entire 3-season run. In my opinion, this is the best cartoon series for kids and adults since Batman the Animated Series from the early to mid-90s. It wasn't a series just about selling toys and games. It had a story to tell. When news first broke that M. Night Shyamalan was going to direct the big screen adaptation, you could literally hear the collective groan all over the interweb. Lady in the Water and The Happening were, in a sense, utter crap. I was a bit more optimistic though. This is the same guy who directed Unbreakable, and maybe taking over a great story that was already fleshed out was what he needed to get back on top. The guy is a directing talent, but he's a crap writer. Well, before the movie even shot a single scene, there was the race bending controversy. A young martial artist, Noah Ringer, was cast as Aang. Twilight's Jackson Rathbone and Nicola Peltz, 2 white as white can be actors, played the Eskimo characters of Sokka and Katara. The obviously Asian villain Zuko was first given to teen heartthrob and professional white boy Jesse McCartney. He eventually dropped out and the casting was changed to British Indian actor Dev Patel. In case you don't know what this whole airbending thing is all about, let me do a quick run through. There are 4 nations of people who can bend different elements: air, water, earth, and fire. Every generation, a single person can bend all 4 of these elements and is responsible for keeping the peace between the 4 nations. But for the last 100 years, the Avatar hasn't been seen. So the Fire Nation took over and oppressed the Water and Earth Nation and killed all of the air nomads. Katara, a waterbender, and her brother Sokka discover a boy frozen in ice. They break him out and discover that he's an airbender and that he must be the Avatar. Meanwhile, Zuko, banished from the Fire Kingdom by his father, must find and capture the Avatar to redeem himself. It's a great story and has intriguing mythologies, so how did M. Night do? Well, he fucked it all up. I'll start with the cast. I heard people complain about Noah Ringer as Aang because, well, he's white. Everyone thinks Aang should be Asian since the series is very Asian inspired, but it didn't bother me since Aang looks very Caucasian in the animated series. What bugs me is that Ringer was only cast for the martial arts experience and has no acting experience whatsoever. It's deja vu all over again, because I saw the same quality acting coming from a child actor to a movie I was looking forward to a little over 11 years ago. The Phantom freaking Menace. Yippee! Instead of Fire Nation being Asian, they were instead Indian. Okay, no biggie really. I actually like the casting of Patel as Zuko, but the casting of Katara and Sokka is pathetic. They're obviously from Inuit descent. What's even more insulting is the fact that when they go back to their camp, all the extras are dark-skinned, but all the actors with speaking parts could live a peaceful life in Arizona. Also, Rathbone's acting is equivalent to Hayden Christensen's in Attack of the Clones. Can you believe it? The worst of both Star Wars prequels in one movie. I was fully expecting to hear him tell us how he hates sand, although he's in the North Pole. There was even a scene with the Fire Nation, with every single member being Indian, and 2 defeated members are obviously white stunt doubles hanging upside down. Think you can look past the race thing? Okay, but the action kinda sucks too. The animated series was well known for the fantastic action choreography since martial arts is used for the bending of the elements. M. Night squeezed out another turtle in the franchise by creating a rule that the firebenders must have a source of fire to bend. What the hell? So instead of full contact martial arts like in the cartoon, we get to watch super exciting scenes in which 2 characters stand 10 feet away from each other throwing crappy special effects. Okay, let's forget how unexciting it is, but let's get logical. Are you telling me that a bunch of people who need to keep a flame going were able to take out nations of people who can throw water, dirt, and air? Really? Really? Don't all 3 of those elements, I don't know, put out fire? In this scene, in which Katara fights Zuko, what exactly is stopping her from dousing his flames and making him defenseless? How is everyone stupid enough to let this weak-ass group take over the world? I read on forums on people who saw pre-screen saying it was 2.5 hours long. That sounds like a good amount of time for a movie based on a 20-episode season of the show. But the final product is only 90 minutes. What? Was it Shyamalan or the studio that thought it needed to be this length for kids? Harry Potter does fine with long run times. They rubbed salt in the wound by having the character Katara do a voiceover and some exposition. You know, fill the gaps between scenes since apparently a freaking hour was cut out. Another thing, and I didn't know this was possible, but they mispronounced the names of the characters. Aang is pronounced Ong, Iroh is now Ero, and Sokka is now Sauka, depending on what character says his name, that is. I'm starting to think Shyamalan just did this to piss fans off. Seriously, what's the fucking point? Was there anything positive about it? Well, there were a scene or two that was cool to see in live action, such as Aang fighting alongside the Blue Spirit, but hardly enough to not feel such disappointment on a massive scale. It also retains the interesting mythology of the world, which I hope encourages people to check out the show, and the quality of this epic turd won't turn them away. What might be Shyamalan's biggest fumble was that I cared nothing for these kids. In this series, Aang was always trying to have fun and be goofy, while knowing he has this huge responsibility on his shoulder. I think I saw him smile once in the movie. And Sokka was the comic relief in the series and was also a fleshed out character. He's dry as a damn bone in this and lacked any personality whatsoever. This kind of stuff was the heart of the series and it was ripped out of the movie. Overall grade D+. The only reason it doesn't fail is because it still retains a lot of the story from the original cartoon, and there may be a few scenes here and there that were kind of decent. But this is in no way a recommendation of any kind. I was a bit hopeful thinking this was Shyamalan's return to form, but it just stuck a fork in him. Hopefully his eye. He found out about this series through his daughter, so I recommend she kick him square in the balls, videotape it, upload it on YouTube. I guarantee 100,000 views from me alone. Did you see it? Did you think the story had potential but failed miserably? Please, please check out the series. See these links below of this video? Right there? Yeah, see them? Click on them and buy them. You won't be disappointed.
There are reasons each of us are born. We have to find those reasons.